Olifant's Marvin's back like Umtolo, baby.
Darling. How want to disturb?
Give them 2 seconds. When I move in, come on.
Nige ukhaya ichance. Ikhona into singakusiza ngayo.
Usize bani? Ngikubonile ukuthi uyayithandela iwewe.
Hello everyone, welcome back to ASR, African Stories Realized. This is our weekly review of Youngins Season 3, Episodes 4 to 6. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get into it. Episode 4 picks up at Mahlatse's place ahead of the Big Five's return to Olifant's Fontaine. His mother advised him to not waste a second chance. She told him to focus on his future, put himself first, and stop prioritizing his friends. The Big Five returned to Olifant's High, but things had drastically changed from the Olifants they knew, with even Tsepo warning Tumelo that he will get them in trouble for not following the rules. Ramathuba then welcomed the Big Five back, revealing that the only reason he didn't expel them was to avoid the bad publicity it might bring the school. He also instructed them to familiarize themselves with the new rules, insisting that they won't get any special treatment now that they're convicts. At assembly, Ramathuba made an example out of Buhle and stripped her of her head girl position. Buhle did not take it well, repeatedly clashing with the new head girl, Buhle. Meanwhile, Tumelo and Amo discussed her entanglement with Mahlatse and Kai, revealing that she had chosen to be with Mahlatse, but she hadn't told him yet and didn't know how to break it to Kaya. Tumelo encouraged her to forget about Kaya and tell Mahlatse how she feels. Amo took Tumelo's advice and tried to tell Mahlatse that she had chosen him, but they were interrupted by the school secretary, who delivered a letter to Mahlatse. Upon reading the letter, Mahlatse started to worry and was no longer in the mood to hear what Amo had to say. Kaya and Sefako reunited in their room, with Sefako apologizing for giving Lesedi access to their room where the stove which started the Olifant's fire was hidden. The two friends caught up, with Sefako revealing he had a new lady in his life, but decided not to reveal who she was yet. Tumelo then reunited with Sefako, expressing how much he missed him and wanted to catch up, but Sefako seemed distracted, revealing that he's too busy to hang out with him. After getting some encouragement from Buhle, Amo and Mahlatse, Tumelo decided to surprise Sefako in his dorm room, only to find him cuddled up with his new boo, Palesa. Tumelo confronted the couple, but the episode ends with him being forced to leave in embarrassment after Palesa made it clear to him that her and Sefako were an item. Episode 5 picked up with Tumelo venting to a distracted Mahlatse about Sefako and Palesa. He confronted Sefako about his relationship with Palesa, and despite Tumelo desperately asking for his love back, Sefako insisted that he wanted to see where things go with Palesa. However, Tumelo was not satisfied and went on to confront Palesa for stealing his man, with a fight breaking out between the two. Sefako and Buhle broke up the fight, and Sefako made it clear to Tumelo in front of everyone that he's done with him and he's dating Palesa now. In class, Mahlatse continued to worry, searching for bursaries online after his scholarship was seemingly terminated. Amo tried to check up on him after class, but Mahlatse pushed him away, insisting he wanted space. Meanwhile, Buhle continued clashing with the new head girl after Buhle ordered her to change her hairstyle. Buhle was defiant, but was ultimately served with her first warning letter by the new head girl. Buhle then suggested to the rest of the group that they plan a party, but the others were not interested as they wrestled with their personal issues. Mahlatse couldn't even eat as he silently suffered from the fallout of losing his scholarship. This left an opening for Kaya, who made his move on Amo, questioning if she still wanted him, and the episode ends with Amo finally accepting Kaya's advances as they embraced. Episode 6 picked up in the boys' dorms as Mahlatse woke up to the rejection from one of the bursaries he had recently applied to. The worried Mahlatse said a quiet prayer alone as he ran out of options. Meanwhile, Tumelo confronted Amo after seeing her loved up with Kaya. Amo insisted she had made her decision and revealed that Mahlatse didn't seem interested in her anymore. But Tumelo warned her that Kaya was a player. Amo and Kaya later met up in his room, where Amo suggested that they take things slow and watch a movie. Tumelo continued his pursuit of Sefako. He apologized for attacking Palesa, and the former lovers later caught up with each other at their meet-up spot. During class, the school secretary delivered another letter to Mahlatse, informing him of the outstanding school fees that he owed. However, one of his classmates caught a glimpse of the letter and exposed Mahlatse in front of the class, making fun of him, with Tsepo joining in. Mahlatse offered to do schoolwork for some students, but quickly gave up and called his mother to inform her that he had lost his scholarship. The episode ends with Mahlatse's mother telling him to come back home, where he can enroll in a local school. This week was a big improvement on last week's premiere. It actually felt like last week's episodes were leftovers from season 2, and this was the real start to season 3. A lot of things we predicted happened today, especially Mahlatse losing his scholarship, which was the driving force of today's episodes. Episode 4 began with Mahlatse and his mother, and episode 6 ended with them talking on the phone as well. It really came full circle. The boy was stressed and ultimately pushed Amo into Kaya's arms. However, I don't think Amo's into Kaya this season. It seems forced, and I agree with Tumelo that Kaya will lose interest once he slept with her. The show has made it clear since season 1 that he is a player. I do find it weird that none of the big 5 checked on Mahlatse after it was revealed that he had lost his sponsorship. Sefako and Palesa are already dating, which was quick, but relationships in high school do move very fast. Mainly because the hormones are in control. There's not really much thought behind it, and it's more about gaining experience. Palesa and Tumelo's fight was probably the biggest moment today, and while I didn't like that he was physically fighting with a girl, the show made it clear that it was not cool and handled the scene very well, with Tumelo even admitting later that he was wrong. That's something Youngins really executes very well. If they depict something which is sort of distasteful, they usually pay it off later with a moral to the story. Which is why I'm glad the Big 5 were convicted, and why now they're struggling with the fallout of that verdict. It just adds real stakes to the show. I find it hilarious that Sefako couldn't say zero tolerance, but was quoting things like the boy who cried wolf and ask no questions, hear no lies. Buhle wasn't given much to do this week, but the new head girl, Puseletso, is a formidable rival for her. She gave Amo her blessing to date Kaya, which was a bit surprising, but I think Amo was hoping Buhle gave her a reason to turn down Kaya. Palesa's storylines on the show have definitely had the most shock value, which is why I think the show should have placed her in grade 12 rather than grade 11. I actually thought she was in grade 12 initially because she used to hang with Buhle. She also looks and behaves a bit more mature than the other grade 11 students, so I would have preferred her as a grade 12 student, especially because Buhle, Kaya and Sefako are the only grade 12s that the show follows. Each season of Youngins has represented a term of school, so we are in the 3rd term of the year in the Youngins timeline. I really enjoyed today's episodes, but halfway through episode 4, the audio and video wasn't matching. And I did mention last week that there were a few things falling through the cracks this season, so hopefully we can tighten those up as it goes on. Youngins Season 3 is streaming every Friday on Showmax. Shout out to those of you who have been with us since Season 1. It's been a pleasure reviewing this show with you all. Thank you for watching. We'll be back next week with another review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is ASR for the love of African filmmaking and storytelling.